What's going on, guys? Phantom Reaper here. Welcome to the 4th day of Thankmas, where we're going to be reading Natsuri fanfiction, because I'm losing control of my life. This is going to be weird. I tried to find a story with smut, just to make it that little bit more dead inside. Well, just to make me that little bit more dead inside. So yeah, we're going to be reading fanfiction. Obviously, the person that wrote it, I don't know who you are. I'll probably have the link to the story in the description so you can read it yourself and check out anything else they've done, but this is just where we are. Let's read. Oh god. We're not going to read all of it, we're just going to read a couple parts. Warning. This book will have themes of self-harm and depression. If you do not feel safe reading about these topics, do not read this book. Obviously, if you're not comfortable with these topics and stuff, don't watch this episode. Or next episode, because next episode we're doing Sayori, so probably have the same sort of thing. Anyway, let's do this. Monica, a confident, outgoing girl, was walking down the hallway, which at this time was unusual, considering the fact that Monica was in the debate club. She was running away with tears in her eyes. She quit the club as soon as she walked in today because of what the teacher had said to her. Sayori, a bubbly, carefree girl, was walking down the street. She was nice to everyone, even the birds. She was just happy, all the time. Totally. Yuri, a timid, tall girl, was sitting at her desk reading the book. Natsuki, a short, younger girl, was... Dot. Monica was sitting in an empty classroom crying again. Her sobs were the only sound in the school, and there were suddenly footsteps coming from down the hall. Hello? Is someone there? I hear crying, the girl asked. Very quietly and weakly, Monica responded, I'm here. The girl looked to the back of the classroom to find a distraught Monica with her head down the back of the classroom. The girl ran over to Monica and said, Hey, you okay? Please don't cry. I'm guessing this is Sayori. I chose Natsuri fanfiction, not Sayori for today. But you know what, fuck it, let's do this. I'm in here. The girl looked to the back of the classroom to find a distraught Monica with her head down at the back of the classroom. The girl ran over to Monica and asked, Hey, you okay? Please don't cry. She rubbed comforting circles around Monica's back as Monica continued crying. Oh, why are you helping me? You don't even know me, the concerned girl replied. Because I hate seeing people sad. It makes me sad. Monica looked up to the girl with teary eyes. My name is Monica. What's yours? The girl smiled and said, I'm Sayori. It's nice to meet you, Monica. Monica's lip quivered as she took a shaky breath. She had never had this before. Monica was a popular girl, and Sayori was talking to her as if she had no reputation, which she enjoyed. Monica sighed and said, I don't know what to do. I quit the debate club and now I have nothing. Sayori sat down at her desk and said, That's not true. What do you like to do personally? Well, I like, literature. Literature, yeah. Wait, maybe I could make a literature club. Would you like to be my first member? You could be the vice president. Sayori's eyes glowed and she said, I would love to, Monica. I can't wait. Monica smiled gently and wiped the tears off of her face. Thank you, Sayori. Monica hugged her and Sayori hugged back. No problem, Monica. Anytime. Sayori slashed Monica's POV. I think I like her. Join. Sayori and Monica were both in the empty classroom reading their respective books when there was a knock on the door. There was a tall purple-haired girl and a short pink-haired girl there as well. Monica swung open the door and said, Hello, we are the literature club. Can we help you? Sayori giggled and whispered in Monica's ear, You sound like a person who picks up the phone in Walmart. The purple-haired one said, I like to read, so can I join? Sure, what's your name? Yuri. It's nice to meet you. Welcome to the literature club. And are you here to join as well? Yeah, but not because I care about helping out a new club or anything. What's your name? I'm Natsuki. By the way, can I keep my manga in here? My dad doesn't want him at home. Monica looked at Natsuki a little confused, but I said, Yeah, sure. Great, thanks. Natsuki ran over to the closet to put the manga away. Sayori, looks like we have ourselves a real club. Sayori giggled and nodded excitedly. This was gonna be an adventure. I'm worried. I've always been straight, but I think I love Monica. I like a lot. My God, Yuri, you're so pretty. I really look. Wait, no, don't get the wrong idea. Oh yeah, I like Sayori a lot. I just don't know how to tell. Wait, a poem. Yes, that's perfect. It's too much. I love her. I love her so much. I'm too stupid to tell her though. I don't know what I'm going to do. I love her so much. This is getting very comfortable. Not. Monica and Sayori were figuring out festival preparations while Yuri was sitting reading a book, and Natsuki was reading a manga. Suddenly, Natsuki seemed to notice a red streak coming from the inside of Yuri's uniform. Yuri, what's going on with your arm? Nothing, I've just got a little ketchup on it, that's all. Within the last 5 seconds, I have to go to the bathroom. She walked into the bathroom and to hear the sound of a blade against flesh, followed by an ominous scream of excitement. Oh no. She gently opened the stall door. Yuri. That gently opening doors is my sleep paralysis demon. Yuri quickly looked up at the terrified Natsuki. What the fuck are you doing, Yuri? Natsuki started to get tears in her eyes. I know I'm mean to you sometimes, but this is different. Yuri just stared at Natsuki. This is really serious, Yuri. Yuri kept staring. Yuri, answer me, you word. Yuri blinked back. I'm not a safe for work channel, so fuck it, let's go. Yuri, answer me, you bitch! Yuri blinked back into reality and managed. Yuri then started to cry hard, heavy sobs. Natsuki sat on her knees and hugged Yuri, and she started to cry as well. Yuri then said something. I'm sorry for upsetting you. Natsuki then said through sobs, again, what? Like maybe me sometimes. I hate seeing my friends hurt. We will get through this, okay? Yuri nodded, then hugged Natsuki tighter and cried more. Natsuki comforted, and they both went home, leaving only Sayori and Monica in the school. We're getting a bit of both worlds here. After Natsuki and Yuri ran out of the club room, it just left Monica and Sayori. Monica was working on homework. Sayori just sat. It was peaceful silence until... Huh? To come from Sayori. She walked over to Sayori and put her hand up. Hey, Sayori, you okay? Sayori jolted up and blinked back to reality. What? Sayo, you're crying. You alright? Oh, yeah, I guess. Kinda, sort of. Not really. No, I'm not. What happened? Nothing happened. It's just, this is every day for me. Nothing but emptiness. Everything would be better if I just disappeared. Monica was confused and worried. So, what does she mean? Sayori, what are you talking about? Monica, I have depression, really bad depression. I've had it my whole life, and I don't know what to do, or how to think happy thoughts, and I don't know how to make others feel happy. I only make them most sad. Monica was shocked. This bubbly, cheerful girl she knew that picked her up from rock bottom was really hurting, and she never noticed. And one more thing, Monica, I have something to tell you. Sayori fumbled with her thoughts, trying to tell her the right way. I know someone likes you. I can sense it. She told me that every time she looks in your eyes, she can see the whole world. She told me that she couldn't hide her feelings anymore, and that she would see you at exactly 42. 4:32. It was 4:31:50. 10, 9, 2, 1. The girl that likes you was me. Smooth. Hell yes. Prolong the inevitable. Monica sat there, mouth cocked open, and pure shock ran all over the rest of her face. Eventually, she gathered herself and spoke to Sayori. I have something for you. With that, Monica went over to her bag, got out the poem she had made for Sayori a few days before. Here, read this. With that, Monica mentally braced herself for Sayori's response to her love poem for her. The poem. When I look at you, you may think I see rain clouds. However, I see sunshine and a smile I can't ignore. Somehow I know it's real because I'm looking at you and I love you. Sayori read the poem and started to shake. She smiled brightly as she began to cry. Money, she hugged Monica. I love you, Sayori. I love you too, Monica. This was a turning point for Sayori. All her life she thought she didn't matter, that she wasn't needed, but for the first time in her life she felt she was truly wanted. She was truly happy. Eventually Sayori pulled away. Monica was confused until Sayori kissed her gently on the lips. It was short and sweet, and they both pulled away and hugged once more. Finally, they both went home, but what was waiting for Sayori at home was something she never expected. Never in a million years. Something that would change her life forever. Oh god, it's gonna be something horrible. Sayori got home, put her bag down and went into her bedroom and fell asleep. Sayori got a knock on her bedroom door. Oh god, I just read on. Okay. Well, here we go. Alright, well, this is gonna be uncomfortable. Let's do this. Sayori got a knock on her bedroom door. Sayori is since, homophobic, mum is here, so we're gonna do this. Sayori, it's mom. Come in. With a concerned expression. What's wrong, Mum? Sunshine, are you lesbian? What? Sayori was surprised with this sudden question. Yeah, I am. Get out. What? Get out of here, Sayori. What do you mean? Leave the house forever. We can't have people who are not like us living with us. Sayori teared up and ran to the one place she knew how to go to, Monica's. Sayori stopped at Monica's front door and knocked. No answer. She rang the doorbell. No answer. She rang it one more time. She heard a raspy faint coming. Monica opened the door to see a teary Sayori staring right back at her. Come in, Sayori. They both walked into the house and sat in the living room. Monica rubbed her eyes and said, Sayori, what are you doing here at 1 a.m? Monica let out a yawn. My parents kicked me out. Monica's eyes widened. Why would they do that? Because they're homophobics. My mum said she didn't want people who weren't like them living with them. With this, Sayori started to sob uncontrollably. Monica hugged her and rubbed her back. She was also kicked out of her house. Really hurt Monica to see Sayori like this. Well, Sayori, if you would like, you can stay here with me. Monica blushed a bit as she said this. Sayori only nodded as she continued crying. No one likes me. I don't know why I'm still trying. I don't deserve anything. Monica quickly responded. Sayori, that's not true. I love you so much. I don't know what I would do if I lost you. Monica's voice started to break as she started crying as well. Without you, I have nothing. You deserve everything, and I want to be with you forever. I love you, Monica. Love you too, Sayori. Always have, always will. After that, they both fell into a restful sleep on the couch. Luckily, it was Friday, so there was no school the next day. Big up Friday for coming in clutch. Coming in clutch with the Friday. Oh, that's all the parts for now. I think. No, it doesn't. Why does it does not say next part, fam? Excuse me. I want to go to the next part, please. Fucking hell. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Monday arrived and the endless cycle of torture began once again. However, something was very different. Natsuki walked in, more like limped into the classroom. Yuri saw her and said, Hey, Natsuki, how are you doing? Natsuki paid no attention to Yuri as she walked into the closet and shut the door. Yuri sat at the desk dumbfounded. Natsuki had bruises all across her face and dried blood. I can see where this is going. And dried blood on her arm, and was limping. Yuri went over to Monica. Monica, did you see that? Yeah, I did. Maybe you should go talk to her. Yuri went over to the closet and opened the door to reveal a crying, injured Natsuki. What happened to you? Him. Natsuki looked terrified and in shock. Who? Natsuki shook her head. Please tell me. Can't. He'll kill me. Tell me who it is, Natsuki. Natsuki sighed shakily in defeat. My dad. Yuri's face lost all expression. She only stared blankly straight ahead. Yuri then sat at her desk and continued staring. Natsuki went up to her and asked if she was okay. No response. Yuri was in her own world. Natsuki then did something unexpected. Both Sayori and Monica were watching attentively. Natsuki gently and quickly kissed Yuri on the lips. Yuri was immediately out of her trance and blushed so red she looked like the Kool-Aid man. Natsuki then said, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Please don't help me. Yuri, I just want to help you. Ah. Yuri then stopped Natsuki with a passionate kiss. In the background, Monica handed Sayori $100. You win, Sayori. I'm never betting against you again. I need money. Sayori jumped up and down and rubbed it in Monica's face that she was right. Monica thought, this is going to be a different club from now on. First, here we go. Oh, yes. Strap yourselves in, lads. We're getting kinky. Monica and Sayori were in bed, sleeping, until Sayori woke up and felt odd. Monica, she thought. That was her only thought. Monica. For some reason, she wanted Monica, all of her. She started getting a little jittery, which made Monica wake up. Sayori, are you okay? Monica, I want... Sayori, you're scaring me. Nobody had ever seen this side of Sayori. Lust in her eyes, her entire body shaking with a craving for Monica, and only Monica. Monica, I want you. Monica's face now blushed purple as she realized what Sayori wanted. Well, Sayori, if we're going to do this... Monica paused and went up to Sayori's ear, which made her giggle like an idiot. Monica then whispered, "We both know I'm the top." This only made Sayori giggle more. "You ready?" Monica asked. Sayori clapped, giggled, and bounced up and down like a 4-year-old. "Okay then." Very nice. Oh, God. Oh no. Sayori was still giggling as much as Monica gently took her clothes. Oh, God. Even this, Sayori was enjoying too much. My God, you are giggly. Monica then took off Sayori's underwear, and she stopped laughing. Sayori then said 2 words. "For all you cinnamon rolls out there, I'm sorry about this." Sayori said, "Do it." Monica nodded with a big grin on her face. She gently stuck her... You just fucking short circuit halfway through a sentence. Oh no. I'm okay. She gently stuck her finger into Sayori's entrance. We're going full out with this one, making Sayori scream with joy. Sayori, are you okay? Yes, keep going! Fucking Jesus. Every time Monica put her finger in Sayori's back arched and I am so uncomfortable, but we're going for it. Sayori's back arched and she screamed more. Then, suddenly, something else happened. Monica, what is... Monica knew what she meant. Monica started doing it faster, harder, until Sayori said, Monica, I'm gonna... She was cut off by all over Monica's hand and arm. Sayori laid flat as a pancake on the bed. She said, I wish I could. I know you do. We'll save it for another day. Go to sleep. Me need it. Sayori immediately passed out and started snoring loudly. Oh, God. I'm not okay. Monica then said, my sweet, sweet Sayo. Monica also drifted off, both of them in each other's embrace as they slept. Thank God it's over. Oh, no. I don't think I can handle anymore. Not okay. Monica woke up around 11:45 a.m. She looked at Sayori and remembered what they had done the night before. She blushed lightly but was happy that she had Sayori all to herself. Sayori slept soundly until about 12:20 p.m. and came downstairs to where Monica was, but not as happy as Monica was feeling. Monica's head perked up as she saw Sayori stumble towards her. Hi, Sayo, how'd you sleep? Sayori only gave a thumbs up and walked over to the table and put her head down and stared blankly straight ahead of her. This was a bit alarming to Monica, as she had no idea what was happening. Monica's head perked up. Suddenly, Sayori walked back upstairs, put on her school uniform, or as she called it, her cryoniform, and she walked out the front door. She stood out in the rain and cried the hardest she had cried in a long time. She kept her emotions locked away for years, and now that she had Monica, she had a reason to let it out. So she cried for something only she knew about. She cried for her parents that died in a car crash with a drunk driver when she was 6. She had no reason not to be devastated, and she was. She felt like she was where she belonged, out in the rain, where all the sadness is. She never felt more depressed than how she did now. She didn't care if Monica saw, she just wanted to not move and cry. Didn't her mum just appear in a chapter, or is it like foster mum? Probably foster mum, now that I think about it. Yeah. Monica ran outside and pulled Sayori in without saying a word. The only noise that could be heard was Sayori's heavy sobs. Sayori, can you hear me? Sayori nodded but continued crying. What's going on, Sayori? What are you not telling me? Sayori shook her head and tightly hugged Monika and cried into her shoulder. Monika immediately hugged back and said, It's okay, I'm here. Shh. Sayori's cries didn't slow at all. Sayori managed, My parents crash can't hold in anymore. Monika realized what she was talking about. She had watched the news that day for some reason and heard about the crash that involved a little kid named Sayori. She didn't even think of it. Monika felt heartbroken, helpless. There was nothing she could do but try to comfort Sayori. Sayori's cries eventually slowed as she slowly fell asleep. Monika then started crying out of relief that her girlfriend seemed to be okay. It's okay, she told herself, but she knew it wasn't true. Here's the Natsuri. That's better. It was about 2:30 a.m. Me and Yuri were both sleeping. Well, she was in her bed. I was on the couch. We just didn't feel comfortable sleeping in the same bed yet. Anyway, suddenly there was a loud knock at the door. I went over to the door. I opened the door and almost passed out. It was a girl about 10 years old who had burn marks all over her body. Nothing crazy, just a couple of brown spots. Hi, what's your name? I'm Yuriki. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm Natsuki. Come in. She slowly walked in, apprehensive. She was a bit afraid of the pink-haired girl. Here, sit down, Natsuki said with a smile. What are you doing outside in the middle of the night? Where are your parents? The girl started to shake. You see, that's why I was out in the middle of the night, Miss Natsuki. Please, just call me Natsuki, but what do you mean? The girl now began to sob. They died in a fire. I just ran to a random door and it was yours. I missed them so much. Yuriki sobbed loudly now as she hugged Natsuki as she teared up. Yuri came sleepily downstairs. Natsuki, why are you crying? Yuri was cut off, now knowing it wasn't Natsuki that was crying. Who's this? This is Yuriki. Her parents got taken by a fire and she just knocked on our door. Oh my. Yuri was shocked. Natsuki looked at Yuri with pain-filled puppy eyes. Yuri nodded. The girl kept crying, but they hoped she would soon be happy because Natsuki and Yuri were going to keep her. Yes, stealing children. Yes, stealing children. What a great start. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Stealing children. Hell yes. Sometimes the fucking scroll does not work. Can you relax? This job was easy enough for Natsuki and Yuri because they were on break, and Datsuki was on a business trip, so Natsuki was staying with Yuri. When school started, they would have to leave Yuriki with Yuri's mum. A couple of days later, there was another knock at the door. Natsuki opened to find a police officer. Hello, are you Yuri? No, I'm Natsuki, her girlfriend. What's the matter, officer? Actually, I'm from the Department of Children and Family Services, and I came here to ask if you had a child here called Yuriki Namano. Literally made that up on the fly. Good job. Yes, we do. Why? Well, she needs a family to live with. Aren't we suitable? No, first of all, you and Yuri are still in school. We just drop her off with Yuri's mother. Second of all, you are still a minor. A child needs to be parented by adults. I'll be 18 in a month. Aren't I close enough? Sorry, but I can't make any exceptions. So what happens now? Well, if you want, you can keep her until we find a family for her. Then you will have to give her to us to give her to them. Natsuki thought, he's talking about her like she's an object. Okay, thank you, officer. Natsuki closed the door and fell to her knees and curled up into a ball and cried. Yuri and Yuriki came running downstairs to find out what happened with Natsuki. Mama, are you okay? Sorry, Yuriki. You won't be here for much longer. What do you mean? As soon as they find a family for her, she's going with them. She'll be taken away. But why? Because I'm still a minor. But you're turning 18 in a month. Doesn't matter. As soon as they find somebody, that's it. Yuriki hugged Natsuki tightly. Please, Mama, let me stay. Natsuki's heart broke as she heard these words. Natsuki hugged back. Sorry, Yuro. I can't do anything about this. Nobody can. Yuri stood behind them, crying silently. I love you, Mama and Mommy. Nat and Yuri both said, We love you too. We just wish we could keep you. As each day passed, they got closer and closer to Yuriki's departure from Natsuki and Yuri. Yuri cried every night. It's just a fucking dash. Things are going in a bad direction, spiraling broken love. I'm pretty sure spiraling is the next full chapter, so we're gonna. Okay. Things were getting worse and worse. Natsuki and Yuri were very close to the day of the departure of Yuriki. Monica and Sayori were constantly arguing. Things were starting to spiral out of control. Something wasn't right. There was a thickness to the air. Monica knew exactly what to do. They were going to have a meeting. A club meeting to talk everything out, word by word. Maybe the only way to save the amazing creation that is the Literature Club. Oh yeah, there was a knock at the door. Yuri answered it. Hi, I'm Andrew Abba with the Department of Children and Family Services. Is there a child there that goes by Yuriki? Yuri put her hand over her mouth as tears came to her eyes. Sorry, for the last fucking time, I can't do anything about it. Well, you know what, Monica? I have a question for you. Do you love me? You know what, Sayori? Maybe I don't. Maybe this was a mistake. Maybe we should break up. Sayori stopped dead in her tracks and tears welled up in her eyes. Fine, I'll go. Monica hopelessly reached out and said, wait, come back. Please don't go. Well, Monica fucked it. Monica fucked it. You're here to take Yuriki, am I right? Yes, I am. Where is she? She's in her room with my girlfriend. I'll go get her. Yuri walked up the stairs trying to regain her composure. She knocked at the door and opened it to reveal Natsuki and Yuriki watching My Hero Academia. Nice. Watching Deku fuck some shit up, I hope. Suzuki, Yuki, I need you both to come downstairs. They followed suit. Natsuki saw who was at the door and struggled not to tear up. Yuriki immediately figured out what was happening. She walked up to the man at the door and said firmly, I'm not leaving. I'm sorry, trust me I am. But, you have to. Yuri and Natsuki stood behind Yuriki as she hugged both of them. Yuri broke down and Natsuki desperately tried to keep a straight face. Don't let him take me, please. Yuri. I'm guessing that means Yuki or Yuriki, whatever, said with a breaking voice. I'm sorry, Yuki, but we can't, and I'm sure whoever will be your family will be very nice to you, and if they aren't, you tell someone right away. Yuri gave Yuriki both Natsuki and her own phone number so she could talk to them. Yuri then went upstairs to retrieve some clothes for Yuriki. Natsuki was still being hugged tightly by Yuriki. Please let me stay. Natsuki now broke down and said, I'm so sorry. Yuriki was also crying. Natsuki wiped her tears and said, hey, don't cry. I'm sure we'll I'm sure we'll see you soon, okay? Okay. Yuri came down with Yuriki's belongings and gave them to her. Bye, Mama, Mommy, love you. Natsuki and Yuri said in unison, we love you too. The door closed and Natsuki and Yuri watched the man drive off with Yuriki. Natsuki slowly sat down as Yuri kept watching the window, as if expecting them to come back, but they never did. Suddenly, a scream. I'm not going to scream because it's 6 in the fucking morning and everyone's asleep. Suddenly, a scream rang throughout the house and Yuri covered her ears. It was Natsuki. She was screaming and was now sobbing loudly and heavily. I know, Suki, I know. The rest of the day was filled with nothing but sobs from Natsuki and Yuri. What had they done wrong? Surely they did something wrong, right? Surely they could fix it, right? It was now midnight. Yuri and Natsuki had both fallen asleep on the couch from exhaustion and both had dry tears on their face. A desperate-sounding knock then came from the door. Natsuki went to the door and opened it slowly, and there stood a baggy-eyed, tear-stained Sayori. Natsuki raised an eyebrow and said, what the hell happened to you? Sayori gave an empty smile and shrugged her shoulders. Yuri stirred and asked, huh? Natsuki, it's Sayori. She looks tired, and I'm too tired to pester her about what happened. Without another word, Sayori fell asleep on the floor, and Natsuki fell asleep next to Yuri. Fair enough. Monica woke up alone. She had been scolding herself for 6 hours, saying how stupid she was for losing Sayori. She kept wondering who would be there during the happy times, who would be the sunshine when the clouds were eating at her. No one, ever. She had done this to herself. She let Sayori go, she kicked her out, just like Sayori's parents. Monica started to hyperventilate. She couldn't get her eyes to focus on anything. She was lost. Even in her own house, she didn't know where to go, what to do. Monica was having a panic attack. Couldn't breathe, couldn't talk, couldn't move, and it was never ending. The door suddenly burst open. It was Natsuki. She was screaming at Monica to calm down, but all Monica heard was muffled words. She kept crying, kept shaking, kept hoping. Monica could now hear Natsuki. Monica, calm down. Take deep breaths. Monica eventually calmed down. Natsuki could now see Monica's eyes. They were screaming with pain and regret. Okay, Monica, stay calm. Can you tell me what happened between you and Sayori? Monica sighed slowly and said, Sayori's depression has been a lot worse lately. She doesn't even smile anymore. But in school, That's a mask. That's her trying to make you not care about her. Anyway, yesterday she wouldn't stop asking me to help her, and I said I didn't know how, but she kept asking, and eventually I snapped and got really angry, and I said a lot of things I didn't mean. Like what? I said I didn't love her anymore. What the fuck? Why would you say something like that? I got angry, okay? I want to fix it, but I feel like she wouldn't listen to me. I was going to plan a club meeting to figure everything out, but I don't know if I can do it. I think that's a great idea. In fact, we can all go to Yuri's right now. Everyone is there. It's time to end the drama, okay? Monica nodded slowly and then hugged Natsuki. Thank you. You helped me a lot. No problem. That's what friends are for. Not that I care or anything. Natsuki and Monica finally made their way to Yuri's after Monica cleaned herself up and made herself look somewhat together after crying all night. They opened the door and Yuri and Sayori were playing video games. As soon as the door opened, they stopped the game and Sayori turned away, knowing that Monica was there. Yuri then said, Sayori, let's not be rude. Fine. Natsuki along with the destroyed Monica. Monica sat down on the couch with a daze. Natsuki talked first. Okay, this has to stop. Monica, I know you have something to say to Sayori, so why don't you say it? Okay, Sayori, I'm so sorry. Monica cried as she said this. Sayori, I never meant to. I want to. Sayori looked down wordlessly. She wanted so badly to forgive Monica, but she broke her heart. Is it wrong to resist it at least a little? Monica kept trying to get the point across, but started hyperventilating. Yuri looked at Natsuki, and Natsuki looked at Monica. Monica's eyes started rolling back in her head. She's passing out! Sayori ran over and caught her ex-girlfriend before her head hit the floor, and Natsuki called 911. This is getting deep. The police came and examined Monica. They said it seemed she had just passed out from exhaustion and stress. Also, she would be in the hospital for one night just to make sure she was okay. Thankfully, she was. Sayori sat next to a sleeping Monica on the chair next to the hospital bed, crying already. I'm sorry the rain clouds won't go away. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have ran. She sobbed harder. I'm so sorry, Monica. So sorry. I beg you, please take me back. Unbeknownst to Sayori, Monica was awake, just groggy, but she heard everything Sayori said. I love you, Monica. I love you too, Sayori. See, wholesome. We like wholesome. The four girls were talking in the hospital room the next day like normal, until Monica spoke up. You guys said you had something to tell us too. What was it? Natsuki and Yuri were so focused on Monica and Sayori that they forgot to tell them about their own problem. Both of them had a hard time speaking up. Natsuki eventually spouted out while trying not to cry. They took Yuriki away. They took her. She said she loved us. I was so close to 18. So close. I could feel it. But I was too late. They took her. Yuri sat there holding back her tears to comfort Natsuki. Sayori stood there with her jaw wide. It's all my fault, Yuri. I'm so sorry. Hey, Natsuki, it's not your fault. As if on cue, Natsuki's phone rang as soon as she calmed down. Caller ID, Yuriki. She answered the phone. Hi, Yuki. Hi, Mama, Mommy. Yuriki added. How's everything with your new family? It's good. They're good people and they're nice to me. That's great, Yuriki. Natsuki said, half meaning it. She doesn't care about us anymore. She found her real family. Natsuki thought, I love my new family, but I really miss you guys, and I love you so much. Sayori smiled genuinely for the first time in a while, seeing someone really love Natsuki and Yuri like that. She put her arm around Monica. We love you too. I want to visit at some point soon. I want to give you guys hugs. Oh, that's butchered that there. Now Natsuki chuckled sadly. That'll be really great, Yuki. Well, I gotta go for now. Love you. Natsuki and Yuri said in unison. We love you too. Click. Natsuki dropped to her knees and wheezed, almost like she was laughing, but she wasn't. She was sobbing. Suki, breathe. She sobbed silently. Sayori's smile immediately faltered. Natsuki managed. It's hard. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I see the smirky faces. This isn't going to be good. It was a couple of weeks after the hospital episode. It was Saturday. Yuri got a phone call from an unknown number. Hello? Natsuki was sitting next to Yuri on the couch because Natsuki's father just recently found out he was going to be in business for the rest of the year. Hi, this is Yuriki's new brother, Emmy. Don't take that wrong. So I was wondering, since I heard from Yuriki that Natsuki's now 16, now 18, Jesus. This was true. Natsuki had turned 18 the day before. I was wondering if you wanted to do something similar to visitation rights, but without any of the paperwork. Basically, you would get to have Yuriki at your home Friday afternoon, Monday morning, and Friday afternoon through Monday morning, and we would have a Monday afternoon through Friday morning. Natsuki heard everything and perked up. Yuri then asked, Natsuki, what do you think? Yes, thank you so much. Emi then said, no problem. I'll tell Yuri. Okay, goodbye. Natsuki, we're going to be mothers again. Natsuki didn't even hesitate. She kissed Yuri passionately and tried to escalate it further. Yuri wouldn't let her. No, you won't wait till tonight. Natsuki shuddered. Oh god. There was a knock on the door and both Natsuki and Yuri knew exactly what it was. They opened the door to reveal Emi with Yuriki. Yuriki quickly hugged and kissed Emi before she jumped into Natsuki and Yuri's arms. Natsuki and Yuriki were both sobbing while Yuri thanked Emi for doing this. Eventually, Natsuki went over to Emi with tears in her eyes and did something she never thought she'd do, except for Yuri. She went over to Emi and hugged her. Thank you so much for allowing us to have time with Yuriki. It really means a lot to me and Yuri. It's no problem, really. I'm glad she has someone she loves as much as we love her. Before we got to know her, thank you so much for taking care of her. Natsuki let go of Emi and went back over to the mix. Yuri then went over to Emi and said, I know this may come across a bit harsh, but I care for Yuki a lot. But you are taking good care of her and care for her as well, right? Of course, we love her very much. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you so much for doing this for us. Yuriki then said goodbye to her other mother and Natsuki closed the door. Suddenly, Yuriki started to cry. Natsuki popped in. Yuki, what's wrong? I thought that when I left, you wouldn't want me anymore. Yuri made a shocked face, then replied, Trust me, we love you very much, and we always want you. Thank you, Mama, Mommy. Yuriki then went off to play with some toys while Natsuki and Yuri sat on the couch, their hands intertwined. Yuri, is this real? Yes, it is, Natsuki. This is as real as it gets. Yuri gave Natsuki a quick peck on the cheek as they watched their child enjoy being at home. I'm guessing that's the end. Oh, that was a roller coaster. Oh. Well, this was only meant to be Natsuri, but, you know, they chucked in a bit of Sayori right into the middle there. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you didn't get too uncomfortable. And, yeah. I shall see you guys tomorrow for episode 5 of Thankmas. The 12 days of Thankmas. To be absolutely truthful. See you then. Peace out, you fucking dicks.